Okay guys, now in this part we'll see like some advanced concepts of file system, which like for the help of which we can just do a lot more stuff. So suppose this is the previous file we were using and it's called written.txt. Now we'll again say const fs equals to require fs. Now we'll use fs dot stat sync. So like this is for, you'll give, like it will give us the like stats as the word suggests, like a lot of like what type of file is and size and a lot of stuff. But if we say fs dot stat only, so it will be asynchronous. So like as I have told you, read files and in asynchronous mode, in synchronous mode, same way here will get a callback like that, and in stat sync we don't. So whatever way you want you can, so we'll do the synchronous way. So here we'll say return dot txt. So now here I'll take a stat. Okay, now here I console.log. Here I'll just print the stat. Okay, now if we just console it, node app.js, you can see we got a bunch of information, a bunch of stat, development mode, link id, block size, info size 22. So I think this in KB showing. Let me just see the details. If I go here, Nodejs tutorial. Okay, it's bytes. You can see 22 bytes. So it's showing you the site 22 bytes. Then BLK side, UID, and link development mode, like a bunch of. Then you have this time 80, modified, C time, birth time, at what time it was created. I think that's called birth time. So you can say you get a lot of stuff. And if you do the same thing in asynchronous way, so let me just make it a little down, and here I'll say fs dot stat, and here I'll say return dot txt. Now I'll give it a callback. Here we'll have result and error, and here I just console.log and we'll get the result. Okay, let's just see the results. So again we got the same stuff, like sorry, we got null. So why did we got null? Because error is first, then we have stats, okay, or response, whatever you say. Now if we do, see, now we got the same stuff, and you can see this is totally same as this. So whatever way you like you can use, there's no any difference. Okay guys, now let me just, you'll most probably you'll use like stat dot size. I mean, to get the size, most probably you'll use this, because a lot of time we need the size. So it's in bytes, you can see 22 KB, so you can get the size also. Then you can check whether it's a file or directory. Then you can say stat dot is file, and you can save it, and if I print it, you can see true, it's a file. And if I console.log stat dot is directory, so whether it's a directory, false, it's not a directory. If I just make a like something wrong, there is no file exist. So you can see we are getting a bunch of error because that file is not exist, so that's why we are getting an error. So always use the correct file name or use a callback where you can just capture the error message. Now if there is a directory, if I just say directory name, now if I do it, so you can see now is file is showing false because that is not a file. Is directory, yeah, it's a directory, and in size it's showing 0 because folder, I mean, how come folder has a size, and it's always the folder size is always the accumulation size of all the files, so that's why folder size is 0. And if we just say again, say return.txt, now we're getting everything. Then there are some other things. So suppose you want to create a file or open, so you can say open, and here you can say file name should be return2.txt, so it will create, and then here you pass the flag, like you can say like in which mode you want to open, like in read mode, in read and write mode, just the write mode, whatever way. So we'll say r plus, so it means read and write mode. Then here we'll have a callback, let's say res and error, and here we'll just say console.log res comma console.log. I mean, obviously you can just do if else. So let me just remove this, and if I run it, so no such file or directory. So basically, okay, it's for opening a file, so it's showing you no such file, so like I can't open this file. So if we just write return.txt, now the file name is correct, and it's firstly get the error then the result, yeah. Now the file name is correct, so you can see null, error is null, and response we get 3. So I think 3 is for like in the reading and writing mode, whatever. So you can open the file like this. Now suppose you want to create a file with the open which is not there, so we'll just say return to, this file is obviously not there, and I'll add w plus, like create a file if not there. And now if I just do node app.js, so we got a file, you can see clearly. So you can do that way also. Suppose you want to add some text here, so you can always use like write file. Then there other method, we say append file. In this file append, and what I want to append, I want to append hello world like this, and we get an error response if there is any. So an undefined, no result and no error. And if I go to return2.txt, so we have successfully added append file. So this is the way you can append files also. And like you must be wondering, like in the previous I just told you like opening a file but haven't showed you anything. So basically in that we open a file and everything open in a RAM, you know, like every data gets stored into RAM, then it works. So for that we will study like when buffer, so then we can maybe say like we can see how to use buffer in when opening file and doing a lot of stuff. This basically then we'll use maybe. And for now, suppose you want to delete a file, I want to delete this return2.txt, so we can say fs.unlink, unlink, same way you got sync, will just won't give you any callback, and unlink will give you a callback. So we'll say unlink, or maybe unlink sync, so I just don't want a callback. And here I'll give the path dot slash return 2.txt, save it, and we'll capture if they are returning something. If I say del equals to console.log, and we'll say del. I don't know whether it's returned something or not, let's just check. But you can see return2 file got deleted, and here is showing you also deleted, and it's printed undefined, so it doesn't return us anything. Now suppose you want to make a directory. So we'll say fs.mk, then again you have two options, mk make directory in asynchronous mode or synchronous mode. So I'll select the synchronous mode. Then I'll say make a directory called temp. Inside that also we have a directory, I'll made a test, these two directories. Now if I just run it, okay, we got some error. What is no such file? Okay, I'm not making a file. Let me just do like this. And okay, so I not making a directory. So let me just put a forward slash then test. Okay, no such file or directory. Let me just make the temp only. Okay, I didn't got. Okay, let me dot slash temp. Okay, yeah, so we were not using dot because which was it can't find any directory where it can make. So I'm telling, okay, in current directory just make a temp folder. Now I'll say inside that temp just make a test folder. Okay guys, now if I go and I go here, I can see it has a test folder. Now you can clearly see it. So let me just show you temp, then we have a test folder. So this is the way you can make directories. And suppose thingly you want to read the directory, I mean there is a way to read the directory. So I will read the current directory only and we'll check whether we'll get any response or not. Console, let me just make my seed adjustable. Yeah guys, dot log res, and here we'll say read directory in synchronous mode. If you directory just write directory, it will be asynchronous. Now if I just say, so we are getting the files which are stored in here. You can see app.js currently what we are running. Then we have a temp folder, you can see. Then we have a return.txt file, which is this file. You can see, yeah. So you can read the directory. Then suppose you want to rename this return.txt file. So you can just say fs.rename in synchronous mode. Now here I'll say, you can see old path and new path. So here I'll just write the file name return.txt to like date.now. I'll just change it to date.now, whatever new, and here I just wrap this up in a string, so that becomes a string, not a number. Save it. Now let's just check. Date.now is no content. Okay, let's just remove and write 1 2 3. That's way better. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, now if I check, so see now the file has been changed to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 whatever 9. Now I'll just read this file and I'll change it to back to file.txt. okay, like file.txt. Now the file name has been changed to file.txt and you can see it got deleted here. If I open, you can see we have now the file.txt. So this is also a way we can like delete, rename, making a directory and a lot of stuff. And suppose in directory, I should tell you one more thing. You want to delete this directory, so just say rm directory syncs and here we'll just give the directory called temp. I just want to remove this directory. If I just run it, okay, error, non-empty directory not empty. So if it empty, then it will easily get deleted. I think non-empty won't get deleted easily. Okay, so here we can just pass a flag and say recursive, and we'll say true. Now let's just see whether we can remove it. Yeah, so now okay, we got a sound also in my computer of deleting something. So this is the way you can just forcefully delete a non-empty directory. But if it's an empty directory, let me just again make a folder temp, and this is totally empty, you can see it. Now if I remove directly without having recursive true, see, easily got deleted because the folder was empty. So this, when you use Linux command line, then also if there is a non-empty directory, then you have to pass extra flags and other stuff to delete that part, oh sorry, folder. Now we'll like see how we can just copy files in this. So suppose I have this file.txt and it's writing after voiding whatever. So I'll say fs dot copy file sync in synchronous mode. Now I'll say I want to copy file.txt, and I'll just for now copy it here only. So I'll say dot slash, and I'll say copy underscore file dot txt. Okay guys, so I'm copying the same file in the same directory with a different name. So you can see we got the same file. So what you got to know, you can copy it and change the name also, or you can just write the same name also in the same folder. Suppose I want a different folder, so before that I'll say slash, in a temporary folder just copy this file.txt. If I save it, so error, because that folder is not visible, it will say no such file or directory. So there is no directory. So firstly I'll make a directory temp. Now if I run it, if I go back to temp, you can see we got the copied file.txt. So this is the way you can copy files. Suppose you want to move a file, but there is not, you can directly not move a file in Nodejs. You have to like install extra libraries, but I haven't told you about extra libraries like npm and all that stuff. So we'll have a different approach. We'll say rename. You can say it's a catch or whatever you say. Now we just copy whatever file you want to move to the new directory, save it. Now if I run, you can see this file gone from here, file.txt, and now it's present here. Okay, because that was previously present also. So I mean, you can just renaming it will delete this stuff and copy to the new directory. So this is the way you can also like copy and move files in your Node.js file system. And for everything you have, like if you whatever you do, suppose fs.rename, so you have two modes, synchronous and asynchronous. You can see this is the synchronous, where synchronous is not written, and this is the synchronous mode. In whatever you do in synchronous mode, whatever you do, you in the end you have to capture a callback like this. Okay, so somewhere, I mean, whatever you want to use, anywhere you just can use that. Then there are other thing also like ch mode. So I just don't know about more about numbers. You can just give like files, should be files can be written or only read only, write only, whatever, a bunch of stuff. With the help of that you can do with the ch mode. Then you can say chown saying copy file. I think, see, this read stream and create write stream we'll see in the buffer part, because we haven't studied buffer yet. Then yeah, then most of the I think I have shown you, because you can see it's so long it will never end, but I think I have shown you the most part. 10k is just like deleting every stuff inside the file, diet file sync. Yeah, so mostly done. So let me just check whether 10k directly work or not. So I'll name the file as dot slash copied underscore file dot txt. Save it. Let me just delete this stuff. And in this we got this writing after reading 2 lines. First is blank space, second we have written this. Now if we just truncate it, let me just check. Okay, I think it won't directly truncate, because we have to write sync. And now let's just see. So you can see whatever there was is empty. So like deleting a file is different, you just delete a file. Now copying, moving, other thing, now whatever inside that stuff, just delete that. If you have studied like SQL, so in that when you delete every stuff from a table inside it, we don't delete a table and but delete every stuff, like all the rows inside a table, then we call them truncate. So this is what all about FS module and some advanced stuff which you can use. And basically I think you will mostly use stats, because you get a size and other stuff like extensions, and then creating and reading files. That's it. Apart from that, I don't think you'll need anything, but in future we'll see like streaming and all that stuff. But for now, that's enough. Now we'll move to the next part. Thank you guys.